I'd moved from Scotland to London with our work, you know. I was a civil servant, believe it or not. Yeah. And I was just discovering the delights of London, of course, in the 70s into the 80s. Mm-hmm. So it's a long gestation period between, I have to say this musically as well, playing guitar or anything, is that I wouldn't like to hear anything I was doing then. But I wasn't very forthcoming in showing people what I was doing. I was more interested in discovering the other music. I used to have a duo, an acoustic duo, became an acoustic electric duo in the 70s, which was the guy who's playing guitar, Roy Kim Burgess, plays guitar on the EP. And that's how we started playing folk clubs and going around to folk clubs and playing things, you know. And I would say that at that stage, thankfully, I was more inspired by listening to other people than steering. I didn't really know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. But it's about finding your own voice and how to sing. Mm-hmm. Once I was a sailing man, once I was a hero, once I was a fisherman for you. Once I was a farming man, once there was a reason to be just where the sun comes down to rest. Now we pine our hearts away, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Because my interest in the acoustic guitar, I didn't get an acoustic guitar until I hit London. Mm-hmm. I was playing electric guitar. But I have to say, I wouldn't say I was any use. You know? Yeah. But I always was using it for singing songs. So interpreting songs, you know, Dylan and all the other songs, people that were around at the time. And the whole thing just evolved quite, I feel now, in retrospect, that it evolves quite organically until I hit London, and then it was like a real eye-opener to run into musicians like Bert Jansch, Michael Chapman, Joan Kelly, the folks, the circuit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, and listening to music, of discovering music like Sandy Denny Fairport Convention, and the rock stuff, of course, as well. I mean, that's the whole thing. So I had a really big, large vista as far as what I was enjoying musically. But I mean, and listening to music, of discovering music like Sandy Denny Fairport Convention, and the rock stuff, of course, as well. I mean, that's the whole thing. So I had a really big, large vista as far as what I was enjoying musically. I really felt I'd chosen the best songs that were real songs, or had atmosphere or feeling, or, you know, naivety, I think, in some of the lyrics and whatever. I wouldn't be able to write those songs now. It's about being excited about something. You don't put the judgment in there and start making decisions that have nothing to do with music or your instinct. You just have to go instinctively. And the fact that soon, you know, songs like Holy Loch and the songs that became songs from the margin they were coming out of me. Mm-hmm. And in a way I could say, well, I don't know where they come from. They just come. And then sometimes if I'm drinking and I'm thinking, I'm listening to a band, I thought, oh, jeez, I want to have a rock sound, a rock this and that, whatever. But you have to obey what comes out of you naturally. Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to be in a rock band. You know, I wanted to rock, and I have my rockier songs. But I suppose looking back on it now, I've realised since writing the notes for this box set that a lot of the influence, the music that I really loved or took me in a different way, was this combination of acoustic and rock.
As I sailed out o'er the water and I watched the mists unfold from mountains steep that swooped down to meet the sea, and I felt a strange elation as the winds tugged sharp and strong. A seed from this wildness we were born. And I watched the sunlight dancing in play across the bay, and I think of the innocence we used to know, and I felt the same sad strangeness when thinking of the world, with madness and the help of destiny. And I thought of all these islands with mysteries barely known, and I think of the future that beckons you and me, and what will be the fate of all the world, with madness at the helm of destiny. And I feel
Well, I expected it would get some traction, but the problem seemed to be that it was like, as I've said many a time, that I'm not folk enough for the folk clubs. Because I think the singer-songwriter genre, by the time that came out, the singer-songwriter genre had become a bit, you know, the Cat Stevens and the whole thing in the 70s. It was like passé and whatever, you know.
Yeah, you got punk, of course, happening.
Punk.
Yeah.
It was like this is totally out of sync. But that's not the way I listen to music or appreciate music. I don't see it as part of a fashion movement.
Kilman sits dark and brooding above the holy law, and I wished in that one moment that we could mend our ways, for we're playing with the future of every living thing.
And then decades later or whatever, I am playing some of these songs again because of interest in Spain, Israel. You're not in charge of any of this, you know. It's just, it evolves, and that suddenly you have people going raving about a song that you've listened to.
Winding her way through the streets of decay into her little back room, outside and feeling alone, watching lights of the good life and slipping sleeplessly into the grey sheets of night and watching hopes rise and fall. Ah, she'll win her ways one day, today or tomorrow. So pursuing her games.
I went through the period when I probably had listened to too much criticism, or even the songs after and whatever, the albums that came after, that I knew it was all out of time, but I felt I began to respect them more again. And when I started having requests to play some of these songs again, and actually playing them, and I thought, no, I know I made the right selection of songs from that period to do that album. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the best thing since sliced cheese or whatever.
Here we go. So far. Oh wow, it hardly seems to matter now. Besides, you ask no more. Your puzzled face towards my words, you turn and laugh. There's nothing more to say or do. Oh